The Mandarin is undoubtedly the most popular Chinese buffet in the six. It's also the only place you go into feeling like a normal human and walk out feeling another type of way. And today we're going to visit and leave them a review.
You ready? I'm ready.
Now, I don't know if I'm ready for the amount of food I'm destined to eat today, but I am visiting the Mandarin on the west end of the city. It's located at 1255 the Queensway. It has a 4.7 star rating with over 13,000 reviews, and this is just one of the 30 locations across the province. To give you a little bit of an overview before we go in, it was in 1979 a group of family and a friend who all had restaurant experience in NYC and Montreal purchased a small Chinese restaurant which was initially offered as a la carte, dine-in and takeout. Then in 1986 they switched to a buffet style due to popular demand where one price equals this much food, and it was basically uphill from there. They continued expanding throughout the years, adding food items to their buffet lineup, and also participated in many philanthropic initiatives. Alright friends, we're about to go in. After checking in at the front, our hostess will walk us to our seating area. Right away you can see that
This place is off the hook!
walking in, you see the interior is very beautifully designed, and we're also provided with a brief introduction.
Just remind that our washroom is in the back right hand corner.
Okay.
Also today is the last day we're celebrating the Moon Festival.
I had some trouble understanding what this sweet lady was saying. It looks like they're celebrating their 45th anniversary and the Moon Festival, which is a major Chinese holiday symbolizing family reunion and unity under the moon, which also means more unique limited time food items to try. Very similar to the traditions of Thanksgiving. Once we're seated, you're provided with a hot towel to clean your hands. Sweet. We are presented with some specialty drinks via the paper drink menu, which are extra cost. Unfortunately, it's only noon though, so I'll stick with my shui for now.
You never told me you spoke Chinese.
I never told you I didn't.
And before we start making our plate and testing some of the food items, I'm going to give you a quick tour.
Well, hurry up.
Man, what's wrong with you? You don't jump in front of a black man in a buffet line. Calm down.
This is the sushi bar where they have professional sushi makers make them right in front of you freshly every day. They also have vegetarian options like the cucumber roll and teriyaki for those who don't eat seafood. I've actually never had seafood and I'm not going to start today, but let me know in the comments what the best seafood is in case I'm feeling risky in the future. So there's 4 soup stations available, including butternut squash for the Moon Festival. I am in beard mode today, but with so many options and so little room, it didn't make the cut unfortunately. Heading over to the salad bar, they have a wide variety of options from a Caesar salad to basically everything you can think of, like potato salad, macaroni salad, fresh veggies, and even mussels. They do a great job of offering choices that cater to many different tastes, so you'll always have something that you'll like. Now, I always start by crafting my salad plate first thing so that I don't need to come here again. And after crafting the perfect salad, I can go and make my first plate. Look at all that steam coming off the food. Everything looks very fresh, and what's really impressive is how clean they keep the food stations. They also keep it full at all times, like as soon as half of the items is depleted, they come out with a fresh batch. Even when my shui is close to being empty, somebody is ready there to fill it up. Like, the service is so good that it's almost annoying, if that makes any sense, but it's definitely 5-star service for now. It's also a kind gesture to label every item with a calorie count so you can easily add up the amount of shame and regret you'll have later. But today I've left my dignity at home and brought my loosest pants, which is kind of the only way to go to a buffet. According to their website, they have over 100 different food items to choose from, which is basically like every Chinese restaurant to ever exist. They've got all of the legendary items like General Tso chicken, Shanghai noodles,
Chicken wings, some baby back ribs, some fries or something? Chinese food, no soul food here.
Trust me, they've got all the food here. This is their grill station where everything is made right in front of you. From grilled meats to dumplings and breakfast items. You can even have eggs made to order. There's really no rhyme or reason as to how I'm making my plates. I'm just gonna go with the buffet flow. Now I'm gonna top off my plate with some favorite comfort food, and it's time to review. Now that I look back at it, I may have overfilled my plate a bit much, forgetting you can go back again, but I've got a good mix of Chinese and Western favorites to try, so I think I'm gonna start my Chinese buffet taste test with pizza.
Very good.
So I don't think I've ever had a pizza I truly dislike because I'm a fat ass, but it's similar to any frozen pizza you throw in the oven. I'm also not going to review every single individual item I try. However, the onion rings have a similar vibe to the pizza. It's a bit greasy and could be crispier, but I'm not gonna grade them too hard on this as I feel like these are more favorites to appease the kids and it's not really the highlight of what they offer. Now, let's try some of the Chinese food.
Now this is more like it.
These teriyaki meatballs are super tender. Sauce is flavorful with a hint of sweetness. They're well cooked and this is a great start. The Shanghai fried noodles are slightly al dente with a really nice texture. They're covered in a delicious sauce. We got egg rolls and spring rolls. They're crispy with a nice crunch both inside and out. So these kind of spring rolls can go for as much as $15 for 4 pieces. I mean, the value you get is pretty amazing and they're just as good as any Chinese takeout I've had. Like, you definitely get the bang for your buck. The barbecue spare ribs fall right off the bone. They're super tender and the barbecue sauce is nice. So the first tastes of the Chinese selections are pretty delicious and cooked well. I really wish I could walk into their kitchen and see what putting all this together looks like. My critique so far is that the food is slightly on the greasy side, but a lot of it is deep fried, of course. I think the teriyaki meatballs and the Shanghai noodles are my favorite so far though. Everything is also very fresh on my random plate of salad. I managed to make my other plate a little bit more like an adult. This is the legendary General Tso, which is one of my favorite types of Asian style chicken, and it's also my new favorite item I tried here. The chicken wings are juicy and better than I expected. The garlic green beans are crunchy, but I can see my reflection on them from the grease, so it's a similar vibe to the first plate. Everything's saucy, although very tasty, but a bit on the greasy end. And by the end of this plate, I'm already starting to feel the effects. The food is all generally high in carbs and sodium, and the sweet sauces are high in sugar, which all has you feeling full pretty quickly. How the hell do you do it, bro? I did go for a third plate, which may have been overkill.
I'm no punk bitch. I ain't no punk bitch neither. I'm no punk bitch.
I tried more food from the girls section. Honestly, for a split second, I thought this was Guy Fieri. I think the MSG in my bloodstream is making me a bit delirious, and I probably didn't need this plate, but I wanted to try a few more items. These sliders were probably my least favorite of the items I tried. There wasn't even a burger in there, but more like a thick slice of roast beef. The dumplings likely aren't homemade, but I couldn't really tell, and they were pretty good. But now it's time for a quick intermission before we move on to the dessert. Also love how they flex all their accolades as you limp your way breathing heavily to wash your hands. So the dessert selection is just as plenty as the savory food, and it looks like the calories per serving are increasing just like my blood pressure. This untouched bread pudding looks so good, but I think it'd take me out, so I'm gonna keep scrolling for now.
I don't know where to start.
I think I'm gonna start with the waffle station, where they make new waffles basically as fast as they're eaten. They have all the toppings, sauces, and syrups you can really need. It's really hard filming and making this waffle with one hand, and everyone keeps staring at me, a little bit annoyed because I'm taking so long, so I'm under a lot of pressure right now. But I think it turned out pretty okay. They have several options of ice cream, including the legendary cookies and cream, but the difficulty level is too high scooping some now. But you also have a Yogen Fruz machine if that's more your vibe. Creme brulee, don't mind if I do. I can't remember what this cake was, to be honest, but it looked really good. I like these bite-sized portion items. It makes things a little bit easier. Plus, look how cute they are. And I managed to snipe this tiramisu from the other side. It looks like a piece was perfectly set up for me. Thank you, stranger. I think this is good, so let's go and try some of the dessert. We are in Sugar Town right now, and yes, that is definitely Guy Fieri. So, I ended up with 5.2 different kinds of desserts, which I think should give us enough of a sample size for a good review. First, I started with tiramisu, which tasted exactly like I'd hoped. It was fluffy, not too sweet, and you get a nice hit of that cocoa. The lady fingers were also soft and slightly moist. I really think they nailed it with the tiramisu. This Belgian waffle just hits different. I mean, it's still a bit warm, and I think the scoop of ice cream would have taken it over the top, but I have no complaints. I like that there's someone standing there making fresh hot waffles to order for you. It really makes the whole experience that much better. Let's see if the creme brulee passes test number 1.
Slow down, baby.
What?
passes the tap test, and the sugar on top is nicely torched. The white cream is silky and smooth. It's not overwhelmingly sweet. This and the waffle were definitely my favorites. I also really enjoyed the rice pudding and cheesecake. I don't know if they got this from the Cheesecake Factory or if they make it in-house, but it's still very good. Now, with all that said, I think I've reached my limit. I'm going to give the dessert a strong 4-star rating, which is pretty impressive given the variety of options you have. None of the individual desserts are remotely the best I've ever had, and you would think it's quantity over quality, but it's really not. I still thoroughly enjoyed them. The savory food was fresh and flavorful, but slightly on the greasy end. And I will also give them a solid 4-star for that, because there are a few Western inspired dishes could use some improvement, and that's the critique I'll leave in my official Google review. At the end, we get our fortune cookie.
Oh, you're not waiting for that.
Let's see what we got today. It says, if you like this video, the algorithm will give me great fortune in the future. With tip, the order came out to about $80 for 2 people, which is pretty exceptional value since the food is unlimited and is generally higher quality than you'd expect. I also came here on a weekend and it's usually less expensive on weekdays. So I do think the Mandarin deserves their 4.7-star rating. I can't leave partial stars for their review, so I will give them 5 stars because when you factor in the service, it's really the bomb.
Now, why'd you say it was a bomb?
No, you said that.
No, you said it.
You said that in the hotel room.
I said she was the bomb.
She was the bomb?
The hostess is attentive, you get a sense of humbleness and authenticity from everyone. People greet you every corner you walk around. It's a very chill vibe, and the effort they put into their interior design goes a long way, and I will definitely be back one day in the future. I took my favorite bentonite clay before the meal to help mitigate some damage to the lining of my gut, which I'll leave in the description below, but I don't know if it'll help, to be honest, because after this meal I do feel that type of way right now.
Whoa!
Oh, hell no. Start it! Start giving me another seat!
Listen to me!
Yo!